Picture this: 200 middle and high schoolers together for 4 days. No phones, surrounded by nature, and totally present in the moment. Sounds impossible, right? But I just got back from a winter camp retreat where that's exactly what happened. And let me tell you, I learned a lot about today's teenagers. Some of it might surprise you. I'm Lem Usita, and I just spent a long weekend retreat speaking to 200 students from 9 different churches. Over the course of 4 days, I gave 6 talks: Friday night, Saturday morning and Saturday evening, Sunday morning and Sunday evening, and finally, Monday morning. Yes, 6 talks is a lot of prep, but my focus was on something close to my heart: identity. Now, as parents and even as teens yourself, you might be wondering, what's really going on with the youth of today? Well, I want to share the biggest insights I gained from spending 4 days immersed in their world. These observations aren't just about what I spoke on, they're about who they are, how they think, and what they're dealing with. Number 1, they can survive without their phones, even if it's tough. First, let's talk about the digital detox. One of the rules for coming to camp this weekend was no phones for the teens. Yep, 200 students had to give up their phones for the entire weekend. And guess what? They survived. Sure, there were some withdrawal symptoms like doodling all over their arms with markers or even looking a little twitchy without the constant scrolling. But something amazing happened. Without phones, they were fully present. They talked to each other, engaged with their surroundings, and participated in camp activities without distraction. This proves something powerful. Teenagers can disconnect, and when they do, it opens up space for deeper connections with others, with nature, and even with themselves. 2, they have a better attention span than you think. Now I know what you're thinking. Kids these days can't focus. But let me tell you, they can, as long as you respect their time and make it engaging. In my talks, I kept things interactive, told stories, and kept the length manageable. And you know what? They listened. They laughed at the funny moments, cringed at the gross ones, and even responded to prompts I gave. The key is knowing your audience and keeping it real. Teenagers are capable of paying attention. They just need something worth focusing on. 3, they're capable of deep thinking. One of the most exciting things I observed was their ability for metacognition. In simpler terms, they can think about their own thought process. In one of my talks, I encouraged them to reflect on their patterns and behaviors, what's working for them and what's not. And they did it. But here's the thing, you can't just leave them with this newfound awareness. You need to give them tools to act on it. For example, if they realize they're stuck in negative self-talk, you can guide them toward healthier ways of thinking. Teens are incredibly capable, but they need a roadmap to move forward. One of the things that we did was just gave them 5 new words that they can think about themselves, and it really worked. Number 4, their anxiety came with them to camp. No surprise here. Anxiety is a big part of their lives, even at camp, away from the pressures of school, social media, and daily routines. Their anxiety was still present. What's interesting is that the digital detox seemed to help in some ways. Disconnecting from their phones gave them a break from constant comparison and information overload. But the anxiety didn't disappear completely. It's a reminder that while things like nature and time away can help, anxiety is something deeper that teens are carrying with them. It's something we as parents and mentors need to be aware of and ready to support them through. Number 5, delayed adolescence is real. Here's something that stood out to me. Today's teens are dealing with adult-level stresses earlier than ever, things like academic pressure, family challenges, and even global issues. But at the same time, they're maturing emotionally at a slower pace. This phenomenon, sometimes called delayed adolescence, isn't their fault. When kids are exposed to heavy topics too early, it can stunt their ability to process and grow emotionally. They're navigating adult pressures with a toolkit that isn't fully developed yet. It's a reminder to give them grace and space to grow at their own pace. Number 6. At the end of the day, they're just typical teens. Despite all the challenges and complexities, one thing remains true. They're still teenagers. At camp, they're flirting with each other, showing off for their friends, and doing all the typical teen things that teenagers do. They're navigating their world in their own unique way, but deep down, they just want to have fun, be seen, and be loved. So what can we learn from all of this? Teens today are navigating a world that's more complex than ever before. They're dealing with anxiety, learning to think deeply about their lives, and balancing their digital lives with real-world connections. But at the core, they're still kids who need support, patience, and guidance. Parents, take heart. Your teens are capable of more than you realize. And teens, if you're watching this, know that you're doing great. You're figuring it out, and we're here to cheer you on. What have you observed about today's teens? Parents, teachers, teens themselves, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going. And if this resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone who needs to hear it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.